Now, I've gone ahead and saved a few more records into the file, and everything's fine because I know you need to fill out each of the sections. So with Brian Davis, weight 112, there's his phone number and full and so on. It doesn't matter if we have spaces after, so we could have made the structure even more than 20 and then 3, make that 10 and so on. But whatever and that may be 14. But whatever you have to start with, stick with it, otherwise it messes up the structure of the database. Now let's assume that they're going to enter someone and I know I need to fill out the boxes. But what happens if I don't? I need to have some validation rules here to check whether the data is okay. So I'm going to have a variable here and I'm going to assume true. Is it okay to save? And what I'm going to say here is if okay to save equals true, then and I'll do the save. But above here, I'm going to set validation rules to test data for suitability to save. 1. So let's do a presence check on the full name field. So I'm going to say if txt full name dot text is equal to quotation mark, then okay to save equals false. So that will test that, right? Or you can do if txt full name dot text is equal to blank, or txt contact number dot text equals blank, then do that. Or you can do them else if txt weight dot text equals to blank, then okay to save equals false. Whatever it is, set it to the value, and therefore it won't then, when it passes down, it won't do that. So there's a nice presence check to be able to do. We can do a length check. A length check on the weight field will do. You could do this on them all. To show the strings. So we'll have a look at. So we're going to say if len txt full name dot text, so if the length of that text is greater than, and looking at the structure, it's 20 characters. So if it's greater than 20, then okay to save equals false. Again, else if len, for the second one I'll do the format that the examiner has done. Len, let's say txt contact number dot text dot length, if that is greater than, and looking at the structure, it was 12 characters, so 12, then okay to save equals false. So there's a length check. We'll now do a range check. So weight, for example. So for weight, we'll do a range check. And this is the reason I had a numeric value being entered. So what I'm going to say is dim weight as integer equals integer value of txt weight dot text. We do have an issue. If it's a string, it's not going to be dealt with as an integer. So I'm going to convert it there using the int function, which you've seen before. And all I'll say is if the weight is less than 0 or weight is greater than. Now we shouldn't have a limit, but it's a limit really for they've entered in incorrectly. So I'll say greater than 500. Then OK to save is equal to false. Okay. So then later on we've got if OK to save is equal to true, then do that. And what I'll say at the end of that is else. Let's alert them. Message box. Data does not satisfy rules. If you want to be a bit more specific with the message box, then you could maybe at the top here dim error as string. And when you get an error, so OK, false, so I'm going to say error equals full name. All right, this one, press enter, error equals weight. All right, so we'll do that. And stupidly, I've used a protected word there, so I need to val error. Val error equals, so let's make sure I don't use a protected word. Error is obviously going to mean something. So val error equals weight, and obviously here we would put val error equals weight range or weight value or something like that. And whatever's going to be set as val error, only one will come out as let's put it out there. One word, of course, so val error. So whatever comes out is going to be alerted to the user. Okay? I'll just note I get an error here if I run the program and leave weight blank. Let's do save. I'm going to get an error here, so let's make sure we can do that. I'm trying to convert a blank to an integer, so I need to solve that first of all. So by all means dim weight as integer, but if txt weight dot text is not equal to blank, then set weight to equal txt weight.text. And I should say there val, of course, to convert it. Alright? So when I run this and leave everything blank, it tells me that full name is an error. Alright? So if I type in a full name, so that seems alright. It's still telling me full name's an error. That's because of this line. If txt full name.text is blank or txt contact number is blank, then say the error is full name. So maybe I can't do the or and I should do them separately, but that's entirely up to you as you go through. So if I put a contact number in 0292087, it may not be in the right format, but it's now telling me that weight is an issue because that's blank. So let's now put -1. So it's telling me the weight value because it's the range check. So if I now do 501, weight value is too large. And if I do 500, then it's now going to save OK. But there is an issue, of course, the membership type, the combo box is blank. So you should maybe have a list check in there to make sure that the values are there. But there's a number of validation rules. Try and find some others and get those working as well.